Holy God, guys, chill. I didn't say I was quitting Dead by Daylight. I said that I was going to be slowing down on it so that I wasn't playing a game that I hated every single day and dealing with a community that I hated every single day. I just wanted to do variety. We're still going to be doing Dead by Daylight content. It's not going away. It's not even close to going away. I just wanted to pull back on it and maybe do one video a week about it instead of 7. Or sometimes even 12, you know what I mean? Anyway, let's talk about Sable for a moment. I feel like Sable's been a big center of discussion as of recently, because Sable is what I believe to be the most hated survivor in Dead by Daylight, while simultaneously also being the most beloved survivor in Dead by Daylight, and I think that that's part of it. So I'm going to go through some of the reasons that I've heard people say that they hate Sable, and I'm going to tell you whether or not I agree with them. The first reason I think a lot of people hate Sable is because they basically are calling her Gooner Bait, which has always been one of the worst criticisms for any kind of character ever, and I've hated it for a very long time. Even before the Skull Merchant, which is the earliest I can remember someone being called Gooner Bait inside of Dead by Daylight, I have always hated when people drag on a character's design because the character happens to be sexy. Sexy is fine. Sexy is amazing. Sexy can and is interesting most of the time whenever a character is designed around it. But truth of the matter is that the development or the design of Sable is not purposely sexy. It's just a goth girl, and people happen to like goth girls. Goth girls are the flavor best girl of the month right now. I know that sounds weird and like I'm dismissive of goth women, but I'm not. I love goth women. Just like I love black women, and I love redheads, and I love tomboys, and I just love women. Okay? Anyway, the point is that every single, I don't know, every like 10 years or so, there's this kind of revolution of what the internet loves the most about women, right? So for a while there, it was Asian women, then it was redheads, then it was tomboys, then it was muscular women. Right now, it's goth women, right? Goth women are the big, oh my God, I gotta get me a big titty goth GF, right? That's the whole thing. Goth women are popular right now, and that is why you all think it's Gooner Bait. Oh, but she's in skimpy clothes. A lot of the survivors have skimpy outfits. A lot of them do. There are survivors that straight up don't have a shirt on, but I don't see any of them being called Gooner Bait. So I think that this criticism that she is Gooner Bait is just ridiculous. It's stupid. It doesn't have any basis in reality. Let's move on. The next reason I've heard, which is probably the most valid reason I've heard so far, is that she basically came out of nowhere and was shoehorned into Michaela's backstory. Now, the only people who care about this are lorehounds, and while I personally don't really give that much of a crap, because as I've learned through my killer analysis series, the lore of Dead by Daylight is kind of I personally don't really care that much, but I can see why lorehounds might might care, and it's, like I said, it's probably the only valid reason that I have seen. Next up on the list, we have people who don't like the fact that her creator is a raging transphobe. Now, hopefully I can find the screenshots. They're on Gorgia's Twitter somewhere but basically the lead art director, I believe, for Sable is a raging transphobe and an absolutely horrid person. And being completely honest with you, I don't like the fact that they still work at Behavior, even though it has been brought to the devs' attention. And it's one of those things where people have stated like, oh, it's interesting that you fired the person who was in charge of all of the pride stuff, but the person who's openly a transphobe is still at your company. Outside of all of that, I think that it's kind of ridiculous to say, oh, the lead art director for Sable is a bad person, therefore we should hate the character, and playing the character somehow supports that bad person. They got paid no matter what, guys. I like we understand that, right? Like no matter what, no matter who plays Sable or how many people play Sable, that person still got paid. That person still, you know, even though they've done bad things, they still got paid, they've made their money, and they're moving on to whatever the next project is. So it's kind of ridiculous to bring up the creator as a justification for hating Sable and hating the people who play Sable. I think that's stupid. So yeah, I say we don't do that. I think that's pretty much it. But the main thing that I wanted to tackle as well was the Sable Cosmetic Problem, which is what I originally was going to do for this entire video, but I wanted to go over some of the other reasons people typically hate Sable, and the people who play Sable, which is ridiculous. I've said this in the past and I'll say it again. If you judge people based off the character they play in a video game, you're just cringe and weird, and you really need to just like slow down. It's okay to like make jokes about it, right? Like I had my "what does your blank main say about you" type of thing, but I don't think that seriously judging people based off who they play is just any kind of valid. And no matter who you are, if you do that, you're just weird, man. You're just a weird person. Anyway, back to the cosmetic problem. Many people have pointed out that, you know, we call a lot for Gabriel and Hattie cosmetics over Sable cosmetics, and many people, myself included, have pointed out that Sable has too many cosmetics and has gotten too many cosmetics, and we need to pull back and slow down and stop giving her skins because other characters in this game need skins. And the reaction that some people have had has been to tell me, well, actually, if you look at the number of skins Sable has, and you look at the number of skins Hattie has, and the number of skins Gabriel has, it's actually fairly even. And in fact, Hattie has more than Sable. And you guys do realize that the number isn't necessarily the point, but it's the time frame, right? Sable has been out for not quite a year now, and she already has as much skins as Hattie and Gabriel, more than Gabriel. Two characters who have been out, Hattie's been out for almost 2 years at this point, and Gabriel has been out for almost a year, if not over a year at this point, I believe so. So I think this coming up is going to be a year that Gabriel has been out. So both of these characters have been out for significantly longer than Sable has, and yet in the same time frame, Sable has managed to keep up with all of that. Sable has managed to get so many skins. It feels like every single collection event, I know it's not every single, but it feels like every single collection event, every single battle pass, every single time we turn around, Sable is getting another frickin' skin. And this is infuriating to a lot of people. And I definitely understand that it's infuriating to a lot of people, because a lot of people do not understand how horrible a lot of this is, right? It's in a game where you have 70 plus characters continuously focusing on the same 5 of them. Every single collection event does not feel good. And I really hate the justification of, well, they're the ones that sell. Of course they're the ones that sell. They're the ones getting skins. If you're constantly, people can't buy shit that doesn't exist, right? So it's one of those things where I just feel like a lot of people have a misplacement hate of Sable. I understand you're overexposed. I think she has one of the highest pick rates in the game. You're kind of tired of it. And that's another thing too. Like, people like to be like, oh, well, whenever I play with a Sable, they're always just the worst players in the world. And it's like, they have a high pick rate. So statistically speaking, both the bad players and the good players are going to get a hold of her. So you're going to see more of her in your games. You're going to see more bad players in your games using her because she has such a high pick rate. But outside of that, let me know what you guys think down below. And as always, a great big special thank you to my channel members listed on screen now. If you want to find out how to become a channel member today, get awesome perks like seeing videos early, merch discount codes, and more, then please click that join button down below. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Need more Kaiser in your life? Well, I've got you covered. Check out my second channel, The Kaiser Extras, where I upload full gameplays, stream compilations, me reacting to your Dead by Daylight clips, and more. We also upload a daily short with all the greatest clips from stream. We'll see you over there. Link is in the description.